Are we on? Yay! What's up, everybody? This is April with astrolada.com, and I'm just checking the connection of everything first because it is Mercury retrograde, and Mercury is retrograde in one of my signs, which is Pisces. So I'm just making sure everything is working. It looks to me like the connection is a little whack, but hopefully you guys can still see me and hear me. Yeah, I mean, I'm connected on the internet, so you know what? Let me turn Wi-Fi off on my phone. Maybe that'll help the connection a little bit. But how's everybody doing? How are you guys doing this week of the new moon in Pisces? Okay, so hopefully that'll help a little bit. Hey, what's up? Hey from Toronto. What's up, you guys? Okay, so this is going to be a weekly forecast for March 8th through March 15th, 2019. And I'm going to cover what the astrological vibes are that we're all going to be receiving, and just let you guys know how that's going to affect everybody. And then at the end, I will do some celebrity talk, but it is based on astrology, based on their astrological charts, so that we can learn a little bit more about astrology and how it works and how it affects everybody through celebrity examples. So what's up, Miriam? Miriam says it's been intense but eye-opening. As far as our eye-opening too, as far as this week, this new moon in Pisces. Ooh, yeah, it was in a conjunction with Neptune in Pisces also. So it's very sensitive, a very sensitive time right now, because also it's in a conjunction with Chiron, that rules things that could be kind of painful for us sometimes. And so I mean, the new moon wasn't in a conjunction with Chiron. Mercury retrograde is, so it could be bringing back some old painful things from the past. But you know what I'm finding? It's revisiting those things from a different angle. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I see how it is, or I see there's some things that I have to kind of review and go over from a different perspective. So, and then, the new moon was conjunct Neptune, so it could be very sensitive too, very sensitive. Lots of lucid dreams and memories. Yeah, a lot of people are going through that. So that's what we are coming off of this week, is the new moon in Pisces. Uranus just switched into Taurus too. Yeah, that's a big one because that transit lasts 7 years. So also, speaking of that, I do have a Uranus and Taurus webinar that's very thorough and detailed here on Astrolada. So I'll leave a link in the description box to where you guys can go and see that if you want to. And if you have emailed me regarding the webinar, I have a ton of those emails that have come through. So don't worry, I'm getting through those and I will get to your email. I appreciate everybody participating. And I mean, it was recorded last year, like almost a year ago, from when Uranus first went into the sign of Taurus for about 6 months. So, it's not like a live thing you'll be participating in, it's the replay. But some people have emailed me with questions and I've gotten a lot of them. So I'll definitely get to your questions very soon. Let's see. Everybody is around you bugging out. You've been sick. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Stacy. I hope everything gets better for you, Miss Virgo rising. Okay. So Uranus just moved into the sign of Taurus. That's a big transit. Big, that's a pretty big adjustment for a lot of people. It's in a fixed sign. And it's in a fixed sign that really likes things to stay the same. Taurus energy doesn't really like change, and this is a planet of change. Great change, huge changes, unexpected changes. So it's the lesson is going to be to realize that nothing is permanent, and you have to adapt and adjust you know, if things come up. And especially if it's things that come up that aren't what you expected, or, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, change is inevitable. So that's kind of a Uranus lesson here. And then for the coffee talk, actually, there's a few different topics. I'm just going to touch on a few different celebrity stuff, things that have been going on that people have been asking me about. But you know, I've been trying to keep up, but there's just like so much going on, so many like major celebrity things going on. So I will go ahead and touch on a few of them just a little bit, and a few of them will be updates, but yeah, so we'll look at it. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Psychic. I don't have my contacts. I can't read your name. Delicious. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool name. Okay. So actually, you know what? This week, you guys, I don't want to say it's quiet per se, because we do still have some aspects that are lingering. Venus and Mars are in a square to one another, and that's something it's ongoing, and it's going to be going on the whole entire month. And it's not an exact square right now in the week that I'm covering, but it's like, you know, they're angling each other, and that can mean a frustration between masculine and feminine energies, and that can mean within yourself, or it can mean, you know, if you're a feminine natured person, there could be masculine natured people that you're frustrated with. It can mean literal, like, men and women frustrated with each other. I have been quite frustrated with the male species since this square has really kicked into high gear in the last couple of days. Yeah, I can definitely admit that. And I'm very Venus ruled, so it makes a lot of sense why I'm just like, let me know if any of you guys are kind of going through the same. Hey, what's up, Satara? Thanks for coming through. I see you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so the Venus and Mars square is still going on. But you know what? There's not any planetary ingresses or lunar events during this week, the 8th through the 15th, for me to cover for every sign. So I know that's going to get a lot of dislikes, and people are going to say, I wanted you to talk about me. But there's nothing that's entering a sign, you know, to do a forecast for every single sign. I will just let you guys know what the energy is like with certain aspects that are going on, though. We have, first of all, sextile to Saturn. It's mostly like sextiles and trines. At least it's not squares, but we do have Venus and Mars square, like I did talk about. But on the 9th, this is the Sun in a sextile to Saturn. I'm sorry, just a moment. What was that noise? Oh, okay, sorry. Apartment living. There's always some weird, some weirdness going on. Okay, so the Sun and Saturn are in a sextile aspect to one another, and this is a good aspect. This is a very subtle aspect, but it is the two planets working together because they're in signs that work well together. Water and earth work well together, and then fire and air work well together. So, but this is in water and earth. So we still have this influence of the new moon. And, you know, that involves the sun and the moon in water. And then it's been working with, it was working with Saturn and Pluto and also Mars, you know, as far as like grounding earthy energy. Because with the water, we can just be whisked away with emotion, you know. And in Pisces, at conjunct Neptune, that's like floating off into outer space somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even really knowing where you're going, what you're doing, what you're feeling, what's going on. And then the earth energy that was aspecting it is helping us to make sense of things. That's earth signs purpose, is to make sense of things. So hopefully that's coming into fruition for some of you guys. But now we have the sun, just the sun alone, in a sextile to Saturn directly. So that could be like, Saturn is about hard work, you know, and it's in Capricorn, the sign of business. And the sun is in Pisces, which is all about creativity and art and stuff. So it's still in a conjunction with Neptune. We're coming off of that Neptunian high to where the sun was conjunct Neptune on the 7th of March. And that day, people could have been total space cadets and forgetting things and just like, not really wanting to do anything, just have a nothing day, like a day to just float in your own zone, your own time zone. And but now it's creeping away from Neptune and it's close to Saturn. So as far as like an angle to Saturn, not like next to Saturn. So this is another aspect that I would say, with the earth and water energy working together, it is about cultivating new things, making new things grow. When in nature, when we have earth and water come together, what happens? They do grow things, right? And Pisces is about your dreams, not just the dreams you have at night when you're asleep, but like your daydreams, the things that you really do dream about doing and you really want. And then the sextile to Saturn could be, having those be put to work, doing the work to make that stuff happen. And having a lot of work come through and opportunities for work and to build things and grow things. So with whatever it is that you do in life, this is a really good aspect. Now it is happening on a weekend. I know a lot of people don't really work on the weekend, but it is still going to be lingering and hanging around for like a couple days after. So yeah, it is a great business aspect, especially if you're in a business that requires you to have a level of creativity involved with what you do. This is a really good aspect. So, and it will help to kind of settle down some of all this Pisces water in the air that does have a lot of people on an emotional roller coaster. Saturn is like, okay, no crying, sit down, let's figure this out. Okay. That's Saturn's energy. So it's going to be helping out if you've been going through some stuff like that. As I have, it hasn't been an emotional roller coaster like the last week, I'm telling you, especially as a lunar Pisces. Woo. And then on the 10th, we have Mars in a sextile to Neptune. So Mars is in Taurus. It's in an earth sign. It's making an aspect to Neptune in a water sign in Pisces. So this is action being applied to like dreams and creative stuff that you want to do. So we have kind of this double thing going on of like the earth and the water working together, and then the sun and Mars are both masculine planets, fiery energy, action, going after things. So they're working with water energy, which is nurturing and it's creative and stuff like that. So yeah, Mars sextile Neptune. The only thing is, a sextile is oh my gosh, this eyelash, I can't. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. The only thing about the Mars and Neptune aspect, the sextile is a great aspect and everything. It's an easy flow of energy, but um, when it works with Neptune, Mars is in a practical earth sign and it is working with Neptune. So I would say like, for the most part, it's a really good thing. It's not going to be trailing off somewhere, too easily, but there could be a little bit of a tendency to trail off a little bit though, with just it having like some sort of an energy exchange with Neptune, which rules just la la land, and then Mars is action and movement and stuff. And then plus Mercury's retrograde in the sign Neptune rules in Pisces. So yeah, be cautious driving. Mercury retrograde already brings the madness with stuff like that. But a Mars and Neptune aspect, like I said, it's a wonderful aspect, but people can still be kind of like a little too, like la la land. So that's on the 10th. And then on the 14th, we have Mars in a trine to Saturn. So it kind of starts moving away from an angle to Neptune, and it moves into a direct aspect to Saturn. So we've got a aspect this week. We've got a Mars and Saturn. So a lot of people can be working very hard, working really hard this week. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. But like I said, if you do work in like a creative type of a field or something, this earth and water energy together, they're both feminine elements. So you should, have the advantage here if you do like creative work. Um, let's see. Pisces sun. Debbie said, Pisces, you've been sleeping, you've been staying to yourself. Yeah, I can totally see that for some Pisces people. Yeah, because of Neptune. Yeah. Yeah, you done that. Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of people, I've even heard like, other people, public figures and stuff say that they've been doing a lot of crying and people posting stuff like, "Oh my gosh, I've been crying a lot this week." Yeah, the waterworks will flow when there's a lot of water in the air, definitely. But Mars trine Saturn, this is Earth and Earth together working hard. So a lot of people can find themselves busy, like super busy, with any type they have. Or it could be tasks. It doesn't have to be work because not everybody has a job. So it could be just tasks that you have to perform, even if that's like you've got to do things like build something in your house, or fix something around your house. That's even a task. Mars and Saturn trine is like these energies are working together to just like stay solid, stay grounded, stay on the same on the right path that it's supposed to be on to get things done, and yeah, Mars and Saturn will not trail off, okay? It will not. Okay. Yeah, Scorpio, Pisces, Moon, okay. Oh, okay. Oh wow, you were driving and you started oh, yeah, you're a double water. Scorpio ascendant, Pisces moon. Oh yeah, that's me too. Scorpio ascendant, Pisces moon. Yeah, crying out of nowhere. Oh yeah, that's our thing right now, isn't it? For all the water signs. But yeah, those are the aspects that we have. We have really good aspects. It's masculine and feminine working together. And then, amongst the Venus and Mars square, we really need this. We really need masculine energy and feminine energy to work together. But that's more for like working. So I feel like overall, it could just be a lot of people are more focused on their work and creating things and building things rather than relationships. Relationships are kind of there's little friction there maybe for a lot of people with the Venus and Mars square. Um, but with frustrations and friction and stuff, there can come conversations that need to be had. And maybe, if you're in a relationship, maybe you guys are just too past to really bring anything up. But with this square, it's like, okay, you know what? I've got time today. I need to talk to you about something. We haven't really been spending time together as much as, I would like us to, or you haven't really been calling me. So what's going on with that? Where usually maybe you might not really say anything. You might just go along with it and be like, oh well, I'm not happy, but oh well. No, with a Venus and Mars square, there is no I'm not happy, but oh well. Like I'm just gonna let it slide. There's no letting it slide. You're gonna be frustrated and you're gonna want to say something, do something about it. And I would say, especially if you are a fixed sign, this is happening in your angled houses, and it for fixed signs, yeah, for Leo, the Venus in Aquarius is in your seventh house of relationships, and then for Scorpio, another fixed sign, the Mars and Taurus is in your seventh house of relationships. So yeah, especially for the fixed signs, uh, this could be a little challenging, but you'll just want to stand up and say things, hopefully, and maybe that can lead to a resolution. It doesn't with a Mars and Venus square. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we have going on this week. Like I said, I don't want to say it's quiet, but there's not really a lot of major shifts going on. We had all of that this past week. All of those, yeah, we really did. We really did with that new moon, with Uranus, changing signs. Those were huge. So thank goodness for a little quieter week ahead. Okay, so now for the coffee talk. Um, there's a few different celebrity topics that I'm gonna just like touch on a little bit and show the chart. Show their charts and update you guys and let you know like astrologically what's going on with them. Okay, so let me screen share the charts. So first of all, let's talk about who's in the title. Okay. Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. Um, I haven't really touched on them here yet, and I've had a lot of people ask. So why not? Let's go ahead and talk about it. So pretty much what happened was Khloe Kardashian and her daughter's father, now ex, I believe, Thompson, he was caught cheating with her little sister Kylie's best friend. There was this whole disastrous thing with it was suspected that they had something going on and the people were there to witness it. So let me share the chart. Okay. So here's Tristan Thompson's chart. You know, I don't have anyone's ascendant as far as Tristan and what Woods. I don't have their ascendants. And I don't know. I couldn't really get it. Oh, well, Tristan, I've always said like um I suspect him to be a Sagittarius rising. Um I suspect him to be a Sagittarius rising or have some strong Sagittarius or Jupiter in his chart. He just looks Sagittarian. He has dimples. He could be a ninth houser, a Sag, or maybe he could have Jupiter in the first house. So, but that's not confirmed. And then Jordan, I watched the interview with her. I was trying to get a feel for her energy. I'm not really sure about her. Oh, that's not her. I'm not really sure about Jordan Woods, Kylie's best friend's ascendant. I couldn't really get a feel for it. But anyway, so what was the deal with them? Do they have anything in their synastry that's like bonding, like they can prove anything about them hooking up? Well, let me see. The the only thing that I could really see that's very strong in their chart is he has Pluto at 20 degrees of Scorpio, and her Venus is 13 degrees of Scorpio. Her Mars is 26. So his Pluto is like right here. And when we have someone's Venus and or Mars on someone else's Pluto, it is a very, very strong physical attraction, like undeniable. So was there an attraction there? I'm going to say, yeah, there was. Once again, without knowing their ascendants, it's a little difficult to see anything else. She could be a Cancer moon. She's more than likely a Cancer moon. If she was born like before 6 a.m., she could be a Gemini moon. But and let's see, and he has Mars in Gemini, but his Mars would be like still kind of far away from her moon if her moon was Gemini. But also there's another thing. Let's see, it was her nodes. Yeah, she has the south node at 19 degrees of Pisces, and he has the sun at 22 degrees of Pisces. So, you know, a lot of times that could be like past life indicators, especially if the degrees are really, really close. As far as a conjunction, could be a past life indicator, but for some people, maybe it isn't exactly like, oh, we knew each other in a past life. Maybe it's just, it could be a another bonding glue that really makes you attracted to someone, and it can be in a very addictive way, and it can be a situation that could be forbidden. You know what I'm saying? It could be something that's very taboo involved. So it does show, you know, it does show in their chart that there's some sort of attraction there indeed. Um, do we believe that they had anything going on? You know what? Like I said, there's an attraction there. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. And you never know with celebrities and stuff. But yeah, do they have factors, attraction factors? Oh yeah, we can confirm that. And anything in Chloe's chart that can show that there's issues going on. Excuse me. Well, this is on astro theme. And they claim to have gotten her birth sign from her birth certificate. So, okay, we'll roll with this. But if this is her correct ascendant, which is Aquarius, well, there was a full moon eclipse in Leo at the end of January. And that is her seventh house of relationships. It was between her seventh and her first houses. Okay, so yeah, I do think that her relationship with Tristan is really actually suffering. There's a lot of theories out there, conspiracy stuff where people are saying, oh, well, you know, this is all made up for the sake of their TV show. Um, I don't think so. I think they're really having issues and have had issues already. The eclipse cycle, like, I think they had their baby in 2017, I want to say. Um, and the eclipse cycles here started in 2017 on the axis of Aquarius and Leo 2 years ago. So ever since then, if this is her correct ascendant, she's had some major breakthroughs when it came to relationships. And then this was the last one in January in this sign, wrapping things up. So yeah, there very well could be like a breakup that really, really, truly is happening or has happened with her and Tristan. And let's see, where's Tristan's chart? Here it is. Okay. He has Lilith and Sagittarius. Interesting. But yeah, just wanted to touch on that really quick. I do think that there is some realness to them having issues. And there is some realness to him being attracted to Ms. Jordan Woods. Okay. All right. Let me see really quick what you guys are saying in the chat before I move on. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay, I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, la la la. Higher vibes definitely help. Oh, I don't really know what you guys are talking about. Okay, but anyway, so that was the whole my take very quickly on the whole Khloe and her man situation that I was going to talk about. Yeah, somebody mentioned XXX Tentacion's baby. Yeah, I heard his baby was born like a few days around his birthday. The baby's also an Aquarius sun. I need to look at that baby's chart. That would be very interesting. Okay, so now let's touch very quickly on R. Kelly. And I have covered R. Kelly a couple of times here on this channel. So you guys can always go back to earlier live streams that I've done here. There is a playlist on here on Astrolada's YouTube. This is, I think it's called April's Astrology Updates. And I have started putting this past year, putting the titles in the titles, the celebrities that we're talking about. So go back and see. I just talked about R. Kelly in January, and I'm sure previous to that, if you go look back. But yeah, now everybody's like, well, wow, he's had this interview with Oprah's friend Gail, and now he's like, going through a little breakdown and everything. So yeah, I've mentioned before, you guys, that this is going to be the year that R. Kelly is brought down and brought to justice. And now he's been, he was in jail recently, and then some lady bailed him out, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, so pretty much Saturn is doing its job. Saturn is working. Saturn has moved past his Mercury, now moved past his Sun, and he's been caught up. I think his Venus return, I think that lady bailing him out, him getting into trouble and then getting out of it and then getting into it again, I think it's because it's his Venus return. Venus's energy can be good luck. It can bring good energy from females or feminine beings. And he had a female bail him out of jail. So, I mean, that makes sense. Even though Saturn is hovering right here. Let me see. What degree is Saturn at right now? Let's look at the 2019 ephemeris real quick for March. Okay. So Saturn is at 18 degrees. Okay, it's around the 18th degree of Capricorn. And then R. Kelly's sun is 17, almost 18 degrees of Capricorn. So yeah, as I mentioned before in previous videos, Saturn is closing in on him. Saturn is father time. Saturn is karma. He makes you, um, you know, suffer the consequences if you've been doing wrong. And that's exactly what's going on with him. Is it's mostly Saturn. And there was an eclipse in January at 15 degrees of Capricorn. So right here, right in between here, there was an eclipse. So it definitely is affecting him. And then there was one in Leo Aquarius axis that was opposing his natal Venus, and Venus rules women. So January is when a lot of stuff started coming out and going down, and then now look what's happened. I mean, now he's, he has to pay child support. There's things catching up to him. Saturn makes things catch up to you that you've done in the past if you've done wrong. Okay, so expect that to continue for him this year. So Saturn is doing some work, and let's see, I think there was something else. Oh, and he was going through his Mars opposition while Mars was in Aries. So that was also why, the quote unquote attacks on him were coming out too. Because when you go through a Mars opposition, a Mars return, especially, and sometimes a Mars square, that can bring challenges from other people to you. You feel like you're being attacked, So that's going on. And oh yeah, he's a Sagittarius moon, huh? So Jupiter has been on his moon, and usually that's a really good transit, but I would want to know his ascendant to know what house the moon rules for him. Because Jupiter on it, maybe it could be expanding upon something that isn't so great, But yeah, that's what's going on with R. Kelly, you guys. And then there's going to be eclipses in Capricorn this whole year. So he's going to continue to be brought to justice for, the allegations. And he just finished his Chiron return. He had Chiron in Pisces. Chiron just finished up in Pisces. So, that's also can play a factor in all this stuff coming up now, because everybody keeps saying, oh my God, how come we're just barely bringing him to justice? How come nobody did this years ago? Well, it's because of divine timing. You have to look at it like and I talked about this in January. In the early 2000s, there were eclipses on the Cancer Capricorn axis. And that during that time, someone pointed out to me that that is when, the tapes came out. So, but there were not any other planets in Capricorn that were supporting the eclipses at that time. And that's why it wasn't really that serious then. I mean, as serious as it is now, as it's being taken now, let's just say. It wasn't seriously then. But now we have Pluto and we have Saturn, two powerful planets in the sign of Capricorn, which rules like you must be disciplined for what you've done wrong. And so that's why it's being made a big deal of now. Okay. So that's the whole R. Kelly. Wendy Williams has returned back to TV. I did talk about her earlier in January as well, giving an update on her because she was on hiatus for a little bit and she had all these other people co-hosting her show. And it was like, oh, Wendy will be back next week, and then she wasn't, and it was back and forth. So pretty much what I'm going to say is this, because I did go into detail back in January if you want to look at that video, but she mentioned that she was doing meditation and, just spending time alone. She had to have a lot of alone time and stuff and time in isolation. Well, her ascendant is in Aquarius. And the 12th house is Capricorn. There was an eclipse in Capricorn in January. Okay. So in her 12th house. So that was telling her she needed to take some time out to herself. Okay. So I believe that to be true. But also it's in an opposite sign from her sun, and the sun having an eclipse in its opposite sign can a lot of times signify marital issues, divorce, relationship stuff coming up in some kind of way. And also, let's see, there was that eclipse in Leo in at the end of January as well. So I do think that that brought something as far as relationship status or relationship issues to the forefront. But she's not really speaking upon that stuff, of course. And everybody keeps saying, why? Why? How come Wendy talks about everybody else, but she won't talk about her stuff? She's a Scorpio moon. She's a Scorpio moon. Scorpio moons are private. And then her moon is up here at the top of her chart. So her family is, moon is family. Her family is in the spotlight, in the public eye. This is the top of the chart can rule the public, seeing you. I know this is the 9th house technically, but using whole signs, Aquarius rising, Scorpio is the 10th house, okay? So yeah, her family, her private life, which is the moon, is in the public, but it's in Scorpio. So she's going to protect at all costs any secrets that are based around her personal life, okay? She's not going to talk about them. And she talks about everybody else because she has these planets in Gemini. That's why. She has Venus and Mars in Gemini. And then she has Mercury in the 7th. It's conjunct the 7th house cusp. In whole sign, it is the 7th house of others. So she talks Mercury about others. 7th house, okay? But private Scorpio moon, though. Kylie Jenner has her Scorpio moon somewhere up here, too. That means her family life has been very, public, but she still did her best to keep her secrets, like keep her baby a secret and stuff like that. So do I believe that Wendy is having health issues? Yes, I do. I think the 12th house eclipse did cause her to take some time out for herself, like she stated that she did. And also eclipses in the sign of Cancer. There was one last summer in 2018, and I think it was near the degree of her sun. The sun can rule your vitality. And also, it's in the 6th house. The 6th house is your health. So there will continue to be eclipses on this axis. Okay, so health and taking time out for yourself and balancing out work and life is a really big thing for Wendy right now. Now, she did return back to TV when Venus went into Aquarius. So Venus being in your ascendant sign, even if it hasn't reached that degree yet, but just it being in the same sign as your ascendant, you feel so much better. You feel really good. You feel like you can do anything in this world and you feel beautiful. So, she is probably doing much better because of her Venus return. And then going by, what's this? Placidus chart system, her 10th house has Sagittarius and Jupiter is up here. So it's kind of helping her out a little bit too. And lastly, I wanted to touch on Michael Jackson. There is a new documentary out that's giving lots of allegations and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to attribute that to the fact that, first of all, Jupiter is in, even after people pass, their charts can still go through transits of planets around it and still bring something out. So first of all, his midheaven, his public career and stuff is in Sagittarius. Jupiter is up here. Okay, expanding upon things, blowing things up and making things look like they're projected from a projector screen, like all huge. So Jupiter in his 10th house. So that can sometimes bring some controversy, you know what I mean? And that's what's going on. It can blow things up, okay? And also he's a Pisces rising and a Pisces moon, and Mercury is retrograde in the sign of Pisces. So it's bringing back retrograde some things about himself, which is the ascendant, and also the moon, his private life. Mercury's retrograde, bringing stuff like that back up again. So that's what's going on with Michael Jackson. And also, I noticed that his north node is 23 degrees Libra. That means the south node must be around 23 degrees of Aries. And, Mars and Uranus have been hovering around his south node. So, maybe that's something that could have brought things back from the past as well to him. But yeah, those are the transits that I see that could be bringing up, all Michael Jackson stuff. Yeah, so that's it, you guys. That's it for the weekly forecast and for the coffee talk. I know it was shorter than usual, um, even though I'm still like losing my voice. Like it was a long time, but you know, it's a little bit quieter of a week. Okay, so be thankful for that, and we will be in the still in the new moon phase and having a growing moon that's going to grow up to a full moon in Libra in the following week. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good week. I hope it's productive. I hope you make some magic happen. I hope you create some beautiful things. It doesn't matter what you do for a living or, you know, what you do. Like creating beautiful things doesn't always have to mean art. It can apply to so much. Like creating, growing, cultivating anything in your life that you want to. There's great energy in the air to work with to do so. So until next week, you guys, I hope you have a great weekend and a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in. And just take care of yourselves. And I will see you the next time I'm on. It should be next week. All right. Peace.